Now, the police body cam footage of that incident appears to show Bryant lunging at two separate people with a knife when she is shot. That is different, obviously, than what happened with Dante Wright. Do you think you jumped to conclusions there when you characterize things the way you did in that video we just played?
No, it is still a tragic loss. It's life that is lost. We actively work in trying to, create opportunities for tragedies like this not to take place. And so I did not mischaracterize. I think people oftentimes read into these statements that we make into ways to sort of vilify us. And I don't know how you can't look at the loss of a 16-year-old life as not a loss, and how you can look at a police officer who ends up using their weapon to take a life as not being a tragedy in our community.
Notice that she doesn't feel badly for initially jumping. That was Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Doesn't feel, who's an immigrant to this country and seems determined to tear this country down at every opportunity. Fled Somalia, came to America, is now a member of Congress, and that's because America's such a racist, awful place, right? Somehow she manages to become a member of Congress as an immigrant to this country, as a woman born and raised in Africa. But she's there to always remind us how awful and racist America is. That's what she views as her mandate, I suppose. She was wrong about this cop. It was a justified shooting. You can't stab somebody to death in front of a cop. Sorry, libs. We have some rules that we will still adhere to in society. There are still some truths that no matter how much CNN somebody watches, no matter how many times they get retweets of their idiocy online, we all still know that it's wrong to stab someone to death, even if you're only 16, and that people who can stop you from doing that should do that. But their impulse was on display. The left's anti-cop rage was on display for all to see right away. Oh, a black girl is killed by a police officer. It must be racist. He's racist. Accountability, LeBron James says. LeBron James is a moron. Is that surprising to any of you? LeBron James is good at playing basketball, which is a form of entertainment. That's it. This is not somebody you should listen to about anything else. I'm happy to see that finally it's sinking in that whether it's the Oscars or LeBron James or these people are trying to destroy what is best in our country all the time. Hollywood celebrities, woke actors, woke sports stars. And they should be held accountable for their stupidity. But Ilhan Omar is not done. Throw a little more gasoline on the fire of discontent and a overly racialized American discourse about law enforcement and everything in our society now. Everything has become overly racialized. The left does this. It used to be, you see, why do we call them Marxists? Why do I refer to them as Marxists? Because the way that in Marxist doctrine, the way that you gain power is by pulling people apart based on class warfare. Well, now we have racial division instead of economic division as the primary means of turning society inward on itself to benefit the power of those who are dishonest about what's really happening. And here's Ilhan Omar talking about Derek Chauvin, and she used the word play 18.
A new poll finds that nearly half of Republicans think the jury in the Derek Chauvin trial reached the wrong verdict. These numbers are stunning. Why do you think that is?
Because there has been, so many people who've been spinning what happened to George Floyd and what the ultimate cause of his death was. We now know that it was murder. And, we didn't need to be told by the jury with that guilty verdict. Many of us saw that video and witnessed a lynching take place, throughout the summer and up to the court hearing. We all thought it was 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and we ultimately know that it was more than 9 minutes. And I don't really know how we move forward as a society where there is a particular segment that believes that is a justifiable thing for a police officer to do, and that they should not be held accountable.
She called it a lynching, as if he just wanted to kill George Floyd out of racial hatred. That's what she says about Derek Chauvin. I wonder which is just outrageous. I wonder what she would say about Justine Damond. How many of you even remember her name? Killed. No reason. Called the police about a noise complaint, basically, and a Somali-American immigrant who was on the police force, Mohammed Noor, shot her in the chest, killed her. No trial for him. You probably didn't even remember Justine Damon's name, did you? Why? Because the media didn't care at all. Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.